Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Gilaswar Ramakrishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. So you are looking for Python full stack?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any programming knowledge earlier? Or what exactly your technical background?
I know a little bit, sir. Python, I know that data types.
Okay, fine. Okay, even you know it or not, we are going to start from very basic concept. I am going to elaborate what are the course content we are going to follow, what the approach we are going to follow within the entire course content. So you know anything about full stack? What exactly mean by full stack? Any idea?
Full stack means that Python, everything will be there, sir. Pandas, libraries, that libraries, everything, it will be in detailed information.
Okay. So pandas and all the things are libraries only that are used while working on data analysis. But when you are working on Python full stack, it's not about only that Python related functionality. When you are working on any application, business application, nowadays most of the business applications are web applications. The enterprise applications are web application. So when you are creating any application for an enterprise, we need to create multiple components or modules which require different languages and technologies or tools. All the things we are going to include within the full stack environment. Stack nothing but layered arrays. Anything array in the layered apartment called basically stack. Very high level, every application required front end components and back end components. Together, technically, what we call full stack. So, front end technologies we are going to learn. A back end business logic functionality and database logic is required. Both we are going to cover an end to end application related technology we are going to learn. That's why it's called full stack. So where Python is a very fundamental language, you need to start with because of your major is Python only. Apart from Python, you need to understand the front-end technologies like JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and front-end library, front-end framework you are going to learn. And you also know you are going to learn the back-end database function like NoSQL databases, even SQL databases like MySQL and Oracle you are going to learn. So first we need to start with basics of Python programming. So Python, one of the programming language, a scripting language, interpreted language, and is basically a dynamic type of language. So and also supporting object-oriented features. So we are going to learn how to set up Python, how to work with Python interactive interpreter, and how to use the different type of tools when you are creating application. Initially, we are going to use idle environment, a tool where we are going to write Python program that can be run by using Python interpreter. So once you know the basics of Python, then data types, keywords, operators, how we are going to write different types of programs by using existing operators, and how indentation plays very important role within the Python programming environment. We can see where we are going to write control structures, looping statement, and conditional statement we are going to see. Then after we are today's class, we are completely focusing on course content only. But apart from, I will tell you what approach we are going to follow, what the projects we are going to implement. So if you have any questions, any doubts in between, you can write your question. You can enter up the class. And in everyday class, we are going to introduce the topic. We are going to write bunch of example in the class itself. Hands-on examples we are going to write. And end of every class, I will send you the task or assignment on that. You need to work on it. Yes. If you work on any assignment or task, you may get some errors or doubts or warning that you need to clarify from me, and by getting the suggestions, so that you are going to get hands-on experience. Not only working on simple assignment or task, we are working on one end-to-end project, an e-commerce like application we are going to implement. You need to implement by taking guidance there. Apart from one e-commerce application, you may work on other application also parallelly. Depends on how much time you are going to spend there. So coming to the topics point of view, once we understand the basic flow statement, control flow statement, we focus on function, how to define the function, how to call the function, and what are the default parameter, what are the variable arguments, what are the lambda functions. Those things also we can see, they're called anonymous function. Then every Python program, whatever we are going to write, technically called .py file is basically a module. How we are going to use the existing module, how we are going to create our modules, how we are going to import one module functionality into another module, and the concept of packages, how packages is able to organize different modules in a namespace point of view, and how to import packages, how to generate packages, we can see it. Then we have a strings concept. And one more important feature of Python is it has a different built-in data structure to organize data, maybe unordered or ordered. Some are allowed duplicates, some does not allow duplicates. Those things we can see the list to full set and dictionary. These are called different objects of data structure, different objects used for data processing. Every object is going to provide certain feature like slicing functionality and different methods also. We are going to use a different method to organize our data effectively. And one more important feature in the Python environment, we have a different types of different functions like filter function, we have map function, we have sorted function, and we have a reduce function. Different functions available. Those are very important when you are processing a collection of data. So even interview point of view also, those are very important. They ask you to write some question by giving a sample requirement. So those we are going to try couple of examples of how real-time environment we may get some question which require data processing by using these functions and methods. Then after we are focusing on object-oriented feature. So Python also support object-oriented feature. So of course, every Python program contains set of data. Every data, an integer value is an object or a list is an object. Apart from, we are going to create our own types. That basically what we call object-oriented environment. So how to create a class, what the need of classes, how to create object, how to access variables, how to create a constructor like environment, what the static method, what the class method, those things we are going to learn within the object-oriented environment. So where we have to understand the concept of inheritance and polymorphism, how we are going to overload operators, and the concept of abstract base classes concept also we have, and we have concept of duck typing. Those features we are going to learn one by one with a sample case study example with the multiple scenarios. So in any programming environment, there are different types of algorithm. Some are syntax error, some are runtime errors are called exception, some are logical errors. Whenever you are getting runtime error, exception, program will be terminated. If your syntax is wrong, that is not called the program. But if syntax is correct, if you are given a proper syntax you follow, but program may be terminated because of abnormal logic, that is called exception. How exception can be handled within the Python program by using different keywords, different blocks we are going to tell. Where try, except, else, catch and but except block we are going to write, and raise keyword also we are going to learn. Then after we can see file handling. So far, whatever the topics we discussed, we are going to work with data, we are going to process data. Once you close your program, once your program is, once power is stopped, the data cannot be stored anywhere. But if you want a persistent, if you want to store data in the permanent storage, one simple way is store data in the form of file. How to deal with the text file, how to deal with the binary files, how to open the file in the read mode, write mode, X mode, append mode. We are going to see, and how to create folder, how to manage folders also. We are going to see in the context of file handling. Here only we are going to see the concept of a serialization or pickling concept also. Then after we can see regular expression. Regular expressions are the patterns, very, very important wherever you go, whether which language you are going to working on. Regular expression plays very important role when you are handling your data to search, to test, to validate any content you are giving. A simple thing is you may be required to do email validation or a phone number validation, an ID validation is required. Those regular expression plays very important role. Here within the Python, we have a RE module available. The RE module usage and the methods we are going to learn. By using these concepts, by using these concepts of objects and classes, all the things, we are going to create our own data structure for better management of data, stacks, queue, linked list like concept we are going to implement. Then after some simple example related to GUI programming, but GUI programming in Python can be done by Thinter API, but very limited usage is required nowadays. We completely focusing on web environment, but I am going to tell you very simple one or two examples related to GUI functionality. Then after, we are going to understand the concept of databases. What is a database? What is relational databases? How we are going to use SQL language to interact with relational databases. We have different types of commands. We have DDL, DML, DCL, TCL command. And apart from, we are going to learn how we are going to aggregate function, how we are going to write inner queries and sub queries and joins concept. Those are very important. Interview point of view also, these are very important. Even you are a Python developer or a Java developer, you must study to write a query statement for a given requirement by combining multiple tables. Then after, we try to integrate database functionality with the Python, where Python database connectivity we are going to see how to get connection object, how to create another object, how to work with different types of queries within that one, and transaction management also we are going to see, and how to generate queries also we are going to see in the context of database integration. Not only SQL based relational databases, we are going to learn what is the NoSQL databases, what is the MongoDB, what is the MongoDB query API. Those also we are going to see in depth to work with different type of database. Then some of the libraries I told you earlier, I told you some pandas, numpy, some libraries we have that are used for data analysis. But these are not required for every program. Depends on the project you are working on. We require some libraries for better data analysis and visualization. Those also we can see. And sometimes we are going to see the concept of Git and GitHub also. So where you have see what a version controlling, what a distributed version control system, for the need of Git environment, how GitHub is going to provide a repo of databases for your source code. Then later on, we are going to start working on web technologies. What is the website, what is the web page, what is the web server, what is the HTTP protocol, what is static content, what is the dynamic content. We are going to understand how we are going to generate dynamic content from the Python application by using Django framework. We are going to, while working on Django framework, more routings, and we have a URLs, all the things we are going to give. And here we are going to write Django template language to create a dynamic content output from the server-side application. Then how to handle the forms, how to interact with the databases by using model classes. And one more important feature we are going to call authentication and authorization. Authentication and authorization are the two important features every application required. So where it may be called authentication is all about identifying you as one of the user. Authorization means whether you have to right to do so and so task or not can be identified through authorization. Authorization all about whether you have a right to access or not. Authentication try to identify you. Those features we are going to learn. Then the concept of Django admin API. And apart from nowadays, any application we are going to create, a back-end application is going to execute business logic and it is going to provide services. For the creation of services, we are going to generate web API or REST API. For the web services, for the REST API, how REST API we are going to implement within the Django REST environment that we can discuss. And here we are going to see concept of serialization and routing also, and basically again authentication and authorization. But before starting off this Django framework only, we are going to learn clearly HTML concept, CSS concept, and Bootstrap also. So by understanding those concepts, then we are going to integrate those things within the Python Django environment. Then after we are going for JavaScript, one of the web programming language. Without that one, nowadays no application may be existed. Within the front environment, JavaScript plays very important role. Nowadays, JavaScript can be used in the back-end environment also, but now we are working on back Python level. So we are mostly using JavaScript for front-end environment, where we are going to generate a dynamic content by interacting with the server side and DOM manipulation, communicating with the server, and dealing with the different types of library to process the input, giving the user to handle the inputs also. Then after we can see the JavaScript has so many features nowadays. Earlier is a simple program language. Nowadays so many features available. All the features, including features also, we are going to learn. Then after we are going to understand the concept of single phase application. What is single phase application? For the component based application development, how user interface is created by using different frameworks and libraries, how React is used as a one library for component based user interfaces. So components and the routing and the data binding and parent to child communication properties handling, and then state management, different types of hooks, and the concept of Redux also we are going to see. It's all about the content we are going to cover. Apart from the Git tool, and we have a MongoDB, we are going to topics also we are going to understand how you are going to the different cloud services to create application and to deploy application. And we are going to implement at least one end-to-end project. Let's say that it's an e-commerce application. You are in a position to write a program that has the features of product management, product viewing, or cart management, add to cart feature, checkout feature, order placement feature, order management feature. Those things we need to implement while learning the course. Okay, these are the entire course content to cover. So for a very basic concept, we are going to start. Step by step, you are going to implement all the features and that can be deployed to one of the cloud environment. So every week we have an exam or mock interview going to be conducted. If you attend that one, you can get some clarity on what level of subject you are learning and how you need to present yourself, how you are going to solve some business problems or even the interview point of view also. Is actually what course content. So any questions so far?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm absolutely fine.
ఇది కంటెంట్ అమ్మా, మీకు అది హ్యాండ్స్ ఆన్ ఉంటుంది ఎవ్రీడే. నేను ఉన్న ఎగ్జామ్ సో basic initially we are going to simple environment called idle. Later on we are going to use the different IDE tools like VS Code or PyCharm or maybe a Jupyter notebook. Like the tools also we can use to create a business application.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
ఇది అది అట్లీస్ట్ ఎవ్రీడే 1 to 1.5 hours క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది. అయిన తర్వాత టాస్క్ పంపిస్తే మీరు చేస్తే that is very helpful to you even if you are at an interview.
Okay, sir.
ఇంకేమైనా స్పెసిఫిక్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇంకేమైనా డెమో కావాలంటే మీరు క్లాస్కి వస్తే ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ అనుకో అంటే నుంచి ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ కెన్ కమ్ అగైన్ సో దట్ ఐ విల్ స్టార్ట్ ద క్లాస్. బట్ ఇనిషియలీ వెరీ బేసిక్ కాన్సెప్ట్ నేర్చుకుంటాం. స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ యూ కెన్ ఇంక్రీజ్ ద కాంప్లెక్సిటీ to create business application. Initial గా సింపుల్ ఎగ్జామ్ చేసినదే మనం కేస్ స్టడీ చేసి నేర్చుకుంటాం. So that you can get clear hands-on experience. Tomorrow when you join a company also similar questions in your account. Example చేయాలి, అప్లికేషన్ గురించి చేయాలి. Both is required. Not just simple example or not just contain a company application. Concept కావాలి, ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ కావాలి.
ఓకే సార్. ప్రైస్ ఎంత సార్?
అది ప్రైస్ వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడతారు, మీకు ఎవరైతే మాట్లాడారో వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడతారు. సో నేను ఐఎమ్ ద టెక్నికల్ గై, ఐ నీడ్ టు టాక్ అబౌట్ టెక్నికల్ రోల్.
ఓకే సార్.
ఇంకా టెక్నాలజీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ నాకు డౌట్స్ ఉంటే అడగండి. దెన్ యూ కెన్ ఇంటరాక్ట్ విత్ దెమ్. ప్లీజ్ ఆల్ ద బెస్ట్.
ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని బేస్ చేసుకుని మనం డేటా సైన్స్ కూడా వెళ్ళొచ్చు కదా సార్?
పైథాన్ మీ క్లారిటీ ఉందంటే కనుక దాంతో పాటు కొన్ని పాండాస్ లైబ్రరీస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, అది ఐడియా ఉంటే కనుక దెన్ ఏంటంటే మీకు డేటా సైన్స్ అల్గోరిథమ్స్ ఏంటి, హౌ మెషిన్ లెర్నింగ్ డేటా సైన్స్ ఆర్ రిలేటెడ్ టు ఈచ్ అదర్. As a data scientist or a data analytics developer, how you need to think about business requirement, how to understand data, how to process collect the data, and a concept నేర్చుకుంటే సో డిఫరెంట్ అల్గోరిథమ్స్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ వాడు అన్ని చేస్తుంటే యూ కెన్ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ ఇట్. ఆ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడానికి కావాల్సిన లాంగ్వేజ్ మీరు ఆల్రెడీ వచ్చు. బట్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ద డిఫరెంట్ లైబ్రరీస్ యూ నీడ్ టు ఇన్స్టాల్ టు అచీవ్ ద ఫంక్షన్. You know how to install library. You are going to learn here only how to install libraries, how to import them, how to access them. You are going to learn everything here. So one thing is that data science related topics, machine learning related topics, the statistics concept you need to understand clearly to achieve some business output. బట్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ప్రజెంట్ కోర్స్ అంటే ఈ ప్రజెంట్ కోర్స్తో మీకు పైథాన్ తో పాటు ఒక వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్, ఎండ్ టు ఎండ్ వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. So that you can work on any application development as like any other programmer. Because if you know Python and the data science, data analytical related libraries, you need to work on that environment also. Yes, any other?
ఓకే సార్, ఒకసారి మాట్లాడి చెప్తాను.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.